Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me for an A-lister show today. I'm doing an abbreviated AM edition today because I do have some obligations today, all day, and then this evening we're having an auction for Miss Sandy, for Just Sandy, here on my channel at 8 p.m. Central. So I wanted to kind of warm up to StreamYard because I've never actually hosted on here. I've been on it with Kelly and with Sandy and others, so I really don't want to mess up too much. I'm trying to learn it a little bit, but I thought that it would be a good idea for us to talk about beginning sellers on eBay. I did mention that when I was talking about my daughter and how she's taken over my stores, two of my stores, and she really has gravitated towards the business. And I really want us to talk about do's and don'ts. And Kelly has offered to help with her, I think, top 5 don'ts. Kelly is from Hip Flip and Mama. I'm going to let you meet her. And then I think she can just go right into the tips that she has for us. We'll also take your questions in the chat. If you have any, put them in caps or put some question marks in the front and in the back, and then we will be sure and answer those, okay? And if you have any tips on how I can get Kelly alone on the screen, let me know, because I've gone through every thing and I haven't been able to do it. So let me put her right here side by side by me.
Hi guys, it's Mama. I am Hip Flippin' Mama, aka Kelly, aka Mama. I am a top-rated eBay seller. I've been selling on eBay since about 2000. And yes, Thelma's beautiful daughter Anna is starting out in this business, which is so exciting. I'm so excited for her. And we just touched briefly on things that you shouldn't do. And I'm like, hey, what a great idea. I've got some things that you should never do, mistakes that I made, even in my coming back into reselling and getting back into the game and getting into it seriously and getting a store. Mistakes I made myself after doing this for 20 years. You want me to go ahead and start?
Yes, but do tell us that you are here on YouTube, that we need to subscribe to your channel.
Oh, yes.
We will put the link in there.
I am on YouTube.
And you are on YouTube. You're Hip Flippin' Mama on YouTube, and very, very experienced seller. So been on YouTube about a year, I believe, almost a year. Has already made quite a following. And so you guys really need to go on there, watch her hauls and her auctions on Wednesdays and all of that. But she is going to tell us her do's and don'ts, mostly don'ts. I think those are really important. So I'm going to let you have the floor.
Yeah, it's definitely the don'ts. But yes, thank you for reminding me that I am on YouTube. Ow! And this is one reason to watch me, because you just never know what you're going to get with me. It can be falling off my chair, it can be falling off a ladder, it can be falling off anything. And since I don't edit, you get to see everything. But I do have jewelry auctions every Wednesday night on my channel, Hip Flippin' Mama. Hi to everybody in the chat. I see a lot of my lovelies. At 7 p.m. Eastern on Hip Flippin' Mama, and we do a lot of fun stuff on auction night. And now that Thelma's back to work, she may join us at the end, most likely just to pop in, say hi, what's going on, Kelly? Why you running so long? Quit talking so much. Let's get this auction going. Okay. Starting out, when you guys start out with your eBay business, you are gung-ho. I'm going to get out of this rat race. I'm going to get out of this office. I'm going to get off my feet. I'm going to be a reseller. It's going to be so great. I see everybody else doing it. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I mean, that's how you feel, right? I mean, give me a whoop, whoop in the chat if that's how you feel. That is how you feel when you start.
You see everyone succeeding and you're anxious.
You do, but what people don't talk about a lot is, oops, look what I did. I screwed this up. I'm ended up paying to send this to this person, which isn't even in my list. But the very first thing that you want to think about when, well, actually, I'll do this. You're thrifting for the first time. You're going to start your inventory. You've sold a few things around the house, and darn, this was easy. Good money, right? The one thing you do not want to do, guys, and I cannot stress this enough, is do not buy something just because it's cheap.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot of there's a lot of things you have to think about. I fell into this trap after I decided I'm going to be a reseller. I got all jazzed by Lindy Glenn and her little $3 and $4 profits. And I thought, well, that's what I do. I can do 20 of those a day. And I thought, my Salvation Army has 69-cent Saturdays. Yes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I would go and fill 3 carts full of clothing and knickknacks and things like that and spend $100, which was great, really cheap. But then I have to work my full-time job and I have to list all these things and I have to, do all these things. There's so much that goes into being a reseller. Don't buy it just because it's cheap, because you end up with a lot of stuff. And number 2, just
Yeah.
because it's cheap, it may not be a good profit maker for you. You need to do your research. If you don't know the value of something, you need to look it up while you're at the thrift store. And this can be 5 or 6 hours at the thrift store. I mean, I've spent 4 or 5 hours at the jewelry counter at the thrift store alone, let alone
Mhm.
the rest of the store. I'm in there 8 or 9 hours sometimes on a thrifting haul. And people think I work there because they see me there for so long. And so often they ask me questions like I'm an employee. And I know all the employees, you're there for a very, very long time. Look things up. You don't want to buy something for $1 just to be able to turn around and sell it for $3. Now, yes, you're going to make a $2 profit, but you got to take fees. You have to take PayPal fees, not just your eBay fees, but PayPal fees. You have to take your taxes out of that. Because regardless of what you may hear, you have to pay taxes on every profit that you make. So clue number 1, don't buy everything just because it's cheap. You'll have a whole bunch of dollar profit items sitting needing to be listed.
Sure.
Do you not agree, Thelma?
I totally agree with that because it's so hard to leave that abundance behind. And then you wind up with a lot of death piles. You wind up with no interest. You watch these videos, you get really interested in video games and dead media, and then all of a sudden you're like,
Yes.
I let 5 months pass, and now that movie has lost its steam, and nobody's rebuying the old ones. And so you need to either get really organized with everything you bring in, and a lot of people do that. They bring it in, they list it, or just stop. Just stop. Especially if you are a part timer and you don't have that full day to sit and get through it. What's number 2?
Well, even if you do have a full day to sit, I'm full time now, but I have to stop and think about how much percentage of my week, and I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it's more than 50-50, and more than 50 goes to my jewelry auction.
Right.
Preparing for my jewelry auction, making sure I have inventory for my jewelry auction, making sure those pieces are presentable, making sure I'm securing pieces for the following week.
Right.
Going and picking up pieces, doing that sourcing specifically for jewelry. And it's not that easy, you guys, because you want to buy for the masses, what people want, what they're looking for, what they're going to buy. You can't just buy what you like. You got to buy what you think other people
Mass
are
market.
going to like.
Market. What's number 2?
Number 2 and number 3 go together, really. So I've got 6. Do not overbuy for the space that you are in. Now, when I was buying 3 cartfuls of clothes and trinkets and everything, every couple 2-3 weeks, I had 1,000 square foot, actually a little bit bigger than 1,000 square foot basement that I could put these things in. I had a complete office down there. I had plenty of space. Well, then I injured my knee working out. I had to have surgery on my knee. I had surgery on my knee, could not do the stairs very easily. We have a walkout, and I would go outside, walk around the house, go into the walkout, and that's how I would access my basement because I couldn't do the stairs. It was too painful to do the stairs. So I had to move my office from downstairs to upstairs. So I went from 1,000 square feet to 110 square feet. Now, as a lot of you guys know, I struggle with the space that I have. I struggle big time with the space that I have. I try and put as much as I can in this little space that I can. So don't go buying 3 carts of clothes just because they're 69 cents and then come home and you're working out of your walk-in closet or you're working out of a small bedroom.
That's why I got out of clothing as well. The real estate was really too great for me. I didn't even want to have it in my garage, and I definitely don't want to get a storage unit because I am part-time and I don't have the day. And like you said, even if you do have the whole day, it's very time consuming. Real estate is so important. That's another thing that gets you like almost unmotivated when you see a hoard. So what is number
Oh,
3?
yeah,
Number 2.
it will. Well, just an example, guys. Okay. I have got this giant shelving unit. Okay. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves. I made a 5th shelf for light items. Okay. And this room, like I said, it's 110 square feet. And then I have a second shelving unit that fits 17 boxes, but I have my shipping supplies here too. You have to think about shipping space. You have to think about inventory space. You have to think about, your working space.
Organization for sure.
Number,
Unorganized and you'll get so unmotivated. So what's number 3?
um, this is one that I'm really, really, really guilty of. And you'll go amen when I say it, but don't sell yourself cheap when you start out. Okay? Don't sell yourself cheap. You look up the comps that are on here, they're from $15 to $25. And you think, well, I'm gonna list my item for 12 or 13 because then I'll be the first one that's sold.
Right.
Not necessarily, guys. Not necessarily, because and I start my auction items probably too cheap sometimes, a lot of times. I might auction my things a little cheaper than I should. Sometimes I should start higher and hold out a little bit, because let me tell you some things that factor into whether people are going to buy from you or not. You've got 3 listings for something. One is at 15, one's at 20, one's at 25. The one at 25, okay, has beautiful, crisp photos. It's got 12 photos of that item. I can see every angle of the item. It's got a full description in it. It's got wonderful, it's got a return policy, so I know I can return it without problems. It's got free returns. It's wonderful. It's a dream. It's $25. I look at the $20 one and I think, oh, it's got okay pictures. I like that. That looks okay. But if I can't return it, so if something happens, they're going to give me a problem returning it. I'm going to have to go through eBay. What a hassle. The $15 one has got really crappy pictures, and I only see one angle. And, there's no description. I don't know. It's the specific model of it. I'm going to think to myself, which one am I going to buy? I'm going to seriously buy the $25 one. Why? Because I'm more protected with that seller. I know exactly what I'm getting because I've seen 12 angles of this item, and there's a full description, and the seller looks like they're professional, like they know what they're doing, and I can work with the seller if something happens.
Confidence.
So for a $300 camera or $200 computer or something like that, you definitely want to go for quality, not price. Even a $25 item, you want to go for quality, not necessarily the cheapest. You want to go for what you feel most secure in and what's going to protect you the most. So
Exactly.
don't sell yourself cheap. Don't be afraid to list higher than other people, because you may have a more quality listing, therefore having a more quality item.
Yeah, confidence plays a role in that as well. People are confident when you have a good picture, good description. They know that they think that you know what you're doing. What's the next one?
Yeah, they do. I can't stress this enough. And then we're going to get into the most important one of all.
Okay.
But this is so important. Do what you say you're going to do. You're starting off selling. You put 3-day handling on yourself. You've sold, 10 items, and you're thinking, okay, now I've got to package all these up. I have to, go down to the post office and figure out how much it's going to cost me. Then I come back and pack everything up, and I got to work in the morning, and it's midnight, and why didn't I do this yesterday? If you tell a customer you're going to ship their item in 3 days, you need to be shipping it in 3 days. If you're trying to get top rated and you're doing 1-day shipping, you better ship that item the next day. Customer service and building a good reputation are very, very important in this business, you guys. If you tell somebody you're going to do something, you need to do it, because your feedback, if someone leaves you feedback, only a third of, maybe a quarter of people that buy from you, maybe even less than that, are going to leave you feedback. It's a lot less than that. But you want to make sure that you're getting good feedback. You want that 100% feedback, okay? So you don't want somebody going, well, Jimmy's birthday was on Saturday, and I was told I was going to get this in 3 days, and it took a week to get here, and now Jimmy's birthday is gone, and I don't have his present. You're going to get a negative feedback. So make sure you're doing what you say you're going to do.
Okay, so you're up to the most important in your list?
The most important is make sure before you start, you have the supplies that you are going to need to do your business. And the most important thing that you could buy yourself before you buy your inventory is a shipping scale. The most important thing is buy yourself a shipping scale, and I will tell you why. Buy one that goes up to 25 pounds. Okay, unless you're going to be selling things that are over 25, then buy one that goes to 50 or 75. Buy a scale that's going to suit your needs. If you're only doing jewelry, get a gram scale, or buy a scale that does both grams and ounces. Mine does both, and plus I still have a little jewelry scale because I wanted it more precise.
Right.
If you don't have a scale that goes by ounces, you're going to guesstimate. And if you think you can use your bathroom scale, you can't. Okay. You're going by ounces, people. That is one of the biggest questions that I get from beginners is, well, I'm just going to get on the bathroom scales and weigh it and then get off and, get my package and weigh it again. And I'm thinking, no, because you pay by the ounce, not by the pound, and you need a good scale. Besides, you want to get down to the post office and already have your label on your package. You can go to the post office, have them weigh it. They can tell you how much it's going to cost to send it. And then you go back home and print your label. You can do that if you want. I've done that on really large boxes that are too big to fit on my scale. I've done that. And that's fine. You can do that. But how nice would it be for you to be able to weigh that item on a scale, know how much the shipping is going to be before you even send it? Which goes into, make sure you've got your boxes and your poly mailers, your padded poly mailers. When you list that item, guys, you already know how you're going to ship it. You already know what you're going to ship it in. You already know the dimensions of it because you know what you're shipping it in. And you can put the proper dimensions in. You can put the proper weights in. So someone that lives in California can get the accurate amount of how much it's going to cost to send to them. Because you can choose calculated or you can choose fixed cost. So people know ahead of time. If they don't know how much it's going to cost, then because they see that you're selling a VCR, but the weight on the listing is 12 ounces, well, they know that's not right. So they don't know how much it's going to cost to get to them. They're not going to buy it from you. So get yourself a scale, get yourself your packing supplies so you know exactly what you're doing before you do it. And then when you get down to the post office, you're not going to be paying $1.50 more for a package than you should have had to. A digital scale is going to pay for itself in your first month, if not sooner.
Yeah, great.
We've all done this. We've all done this, right, Thelma? Where you sell something, you get the postage on it. Yeah, you sell it, and then all of a sudden your postage weighs more than you thought it was going to, and you're paying this person to take your inventory. So
those are great points. Great points on what not to do. I'm going to piggyback on them a little bit and actually tell you what you can do as well. But Kelly made some wonderful points, and Kelly does have a YouTube channel. Please drop your link, Kelly. Be sure and subscribe to her channel if you haven't already done so. because she is a seasoned seller, but like all of us, we've learned by learning. That's the only way we can do it, is by making our mistakes. But everything she touched on is absolutely true. I've done every single one of those. Before I didn't have a scale. I wouldn't even do my labels on PayPal or eBay until a few years ago. And you save so much money that way, especially if you become a power seller and as a high rated top seller. You get those discounts, and that's what you're working for. You save anywhere from $1 to 50 cents for each shipment that you do, and sometimes more, $3, depending, of course, proportion wise. But don't forget to do those kinds of things. Don't forget to learn about shipping, because there are those priority boxes, that go by weight, and you may not have known that. Or sometimes UPS will be cheaper, or FedEx, or the new pirate ship. Learn about all of that. Watch those videos on shipping. It's so important. Shipping goes up, every 6 months, it seems like. It's always constantly going up, and it's eating away at our fees, as our PayPal fees, as our eBay fees. They're always going up. So we need to cut that corner wherever we can. But I'm going to do some do's now, and then we'll cut it a little short today because I do have some obligations today. And we will be back here at 8 o'clock. Again, I'm reiterating what we're doing tonight. We're doing a benefit auction for Sandy at Just Sandy, 8 p.m. Central. I'm going to auction jewelry and bags and all kinds of wonderful things. Kelly's going to join us, as are a lot of other people. So I hope you will be here on my channel, 8 p.m. Central. And Kelly,
I'll be auctioning too, guys.
Yes, you will.
I'm going to be early in the auction because I have an early bedtime because I get up so early.
Yes, I do too. I get up at 5, but we're going to hang in there and do what we can. And we so appreciate your help, Miss Kelly. Let me tell you what you can do, guys. You can look around your house. Don't start sourcing with Goodwill immediately. You have plenty of things. People will buy your clothes from 1982. There are some ladies out there who love the fashions of 1982. They need your size 11 shoes. Go in that closet and pick what you're not using. I clear out my closet just to have room for more of the bargains that I find at Goodwill. So I clear out my closet and sometimes just donate it because I don't have time to do all the clothing I want to do. But you may. And like I said, there's designer bags in there. There's jewelry that people still want. Everything is just right around your home. So be sure and pick that up. Again, what Kelly said about feedback, that is so important. Be sure and solicit feedback. It's not done like it used to be. A lot of people would send candy and say, hey, I fed you, you can feed me now. People used to do that stuff, and it worked. But I'll tell you what someone did recently, and I had forgotten to give feedback. And she sent me a very nice note, and again, thanked me for the purchase. She said, thank you for your purchase. I really value feedback. Please take the time to leave me some. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. She was kind enough to re-thank me for the purchase. And I thought again, feedback's important. Of course it is. Why am I as a reseller forgetting that? I really thrive on it and love it and need it. So I went over there and gave her feedback, 5-star rating and all of that good stuff. And that was eBay. A lot of people are still scoffing that you don't need it, but I think you do. So be sure and do that. Solicit your feedback. When you write that thank you note, or when you send an invoice, say thank you. I value the feedback. I value my customer satisfaction. Please leave me some feedback. Don't be afraid of negative feedback. Do positive things. Wrap it correctly. Make sure your shipping is safe. If you sell mugs, put bubble wrap, put tissue, put cardboard, put a box, double box it if it's extremely, delicate porcelain. Take the time to do that, and you don't even have to solicit the feedback. It will come. And if you do as well, that fast shipping right after you get paid, or if you have an auction, like I used to do auctions, and I would wait for them to end on Sunday, and then I would wait for everyone to pay. Don't put down one-day shipping like she was saying, but do say accurate shipping, fast shipping, and get it done as quickly as you possibly can. Make your listings positive. Always sandwich flaw. First you're going to put the beautiful thing about it, then you're going to put your flaw, and then you sandwich it with something else. You tell us how wonderful the item is, regardless, even though it has a little tiny flaw. It doesn't take away from the integrity. Always spin your item. Do not lie. Do not hide. Take a picture of the flaw. But when you write your description, make it so someone wants it. Value your items, and they will as well. Make sure that your pictures they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be floating, whatever, but they have to be free of clutter. and they have to represent the item in every angle. If it's a handbag, they want the strap, they want the bottom, they want the corner. They want to know if it's got any wear. So make sure that you do that for anyone. Make sure you think about it as you would when you're buying. What do you want to see in your list? How do you want it described? Do you want to know the arm length? Because you may have these extra long arms. Do you have, a problem with long pants and you'd like for them to be longer or shorter? Then add the measurements. It's up to you as
Exactly.
you want to go with that. Another do with eBay is to enjoy it. Be sure and enjoy it, because remember, you are providing a service. There are people that are landlocked, military. There are people that are in rural areas that never seen a Walmart, but maybe once a year when they go into town. You are providing them a service. You really are. I can't tell you how many times I've looked at names that are in my addresses to go out and I'm like, where is that? And then I look and it's like a population of 1,000 people. They depend on eBay. So you're doing a great service when you do this, and you're providing them with things that they're not going to find. They're not going to go to Dillard's to buy a Fossil handbag, but you're able to give them one at a wonderful price. Take pride in that. Take pride in what you do and tell people about it. Maybe even print up some business cards. So when you go to those garage sales or something, and maybe there's not what you're looking for, leave your card there. Not everyone is going to scoff at you for being a reseller. Many people really think it's interesting. I was invited to a storage unit at a garage sale because I happened to mention something about an Edith Lieber handbag she had. And she said, oh, I have so many more at a storage unit. And then I mentioned that I was a reseller, gave her my card. She gave me hers. We met up and I bought perfumes and a whole bunch of designer items from her. Networking is a very important thing. You can do that there. And I think I'm pretty much done as far as what I can think of right now, guys. Maybe don't be afraid.
Those are definite wonderful do's, Thelma. Absolutely.
So I don't see any questions in the chat. If you have any, let me know. But I think we're going to cut it a little short. We were doing a little dry run here as well. That's why I asked my friend Miss Kelly to come and join me. She does have that wonderful channel here, Hip Flippin' Mama. Be sure and subscribe to her, guys. I love what she brings in too. I have to say that, Kelly, that she knows a lot about what still continuously sells, like books. A lot of people think books only sell on on Amazon, but they sell on eBay all day long, sometimes for more than Amazon, because Amazon has that fluctuation. Kelly has the jewelry. She has the mugs. She has the Longenberger baskets. I mean, just an array of things that you can learn from her channel. So be sure and subscribe. I will see you guys tonight. I think we're going to sign off. Did you see any questions, Miss Kelly?
No, just a lot of comments, a lot of people agreeing, sharing their stories about how they had messed up with that, with that as well. I think all new resellers are going to make those mistakes, and that's really, really how you learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And don't kick yourself over it, because you'll learn for the next time. You'll learn if you want to do free shipping, you're going to have to roll it in. And now Etsy is requiring anything over $35 if you want to go up on the album to do free shipping. There's no such thing. We all know that, but we have to learn how to make it appealing still to the buyer and not sell ourselves short, as Kelly said. So if you don't have any last words, Kelly, I think we're going to sign off and see you at 8
Bye, guys.
Thank you so very much, guys. Let me go up here and end it, right, Kelly, at the top? Again, I've never hosted it. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you all tonight. Be here at 15 Central.
We'll see you guys tonight.